Terrorists take a group of innocents hostage.
We will have one chance.
Their only hope for freedom, The Equalizer, Tuesday. This is CBS.
Just ahead on Channel 7 News, people manning the area's polls today didn't get much company. Voters stayed away in droves from state and local runoff elections.
I'm Bruce Gordon. I'll be reporting live from the Travis County Courthouse with comments from tonight's biggest local winner.
In other news, though the official protest has ended tonight, the death of Evans Akie has not been forgotten. And we may have one nice day this weekend after all.
A look at the weather, the Rockets' big showdown tomorrow. We'll have all the election returns right here on Channel 7.
Hamburger places serve billions of burgers. And oh yes, they also serve chicken, like chicken nuggets. But it's hard to do chicken right. Part-time. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, our nuggets have our secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, so they taste great. In fact, people who said they'd ever tried Kentucky Nuggets and McDonald's chicken nuggets rated ours higher on taste. So get your nuggets from the chicken experts. Anything else could be a bum steer.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Every Monday through Friday, Mike Horner drives his Chevy S10 4x4 to work.
Hi, Mike.
But on Friday, November 9th, Mike made a different kind of commute. The Baja 1000. North America's most punishing off-road race. Could an everyday Chevy S10 survive? It not only survived, it won its class. So no matter what kind of commute you have to make, nothing works like a Chevy truck.
Now get 5.9 financing on new S10 pickups. Length of finance contract is limited.
You make it deliver.
This Father's Day, wrap up all his favorite colors from Alexander Juliet. Should complement his style with Christian Dior.
You can't resist the things we do. Happy Father's Day to you. You make it Dillard. Dillard's makes it.
Remember June 15th.
You.
From Austin's News Channel, this is the Channel 7 News Weekend Report. With anchors David Swafford and Betty Cross, Larry Dingmore with weather, and David Walker on sports.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
What votes there were almost all counted tonight. Let's take a look at some of the key races here in Travis County. First off, for Travis County Commissioner Precinct 4 in the Democratic runoff, Hank Gonzalez has already been declared the winner with 100% of the precincts reporting. He has garnered 55% of the vote. In the Travis County Commissioner race, Precinct 2, this is in the Republican runoff, Zach Dawes, 62% of the vote, another winner.
Still other Travis County races, the Travis County Democratic primary and the race for treasurer. And at this time, Dolores Ortega Carter, with 99% of the precincts reporting, looks like she'll be winning this race over Brian Pate. And in the Travis County Justice of the Peace Precinct 4 race, Democratic primary, 100% of the precincts reporting. And Roland Ortiz has lost this one to Ricardo Madrigal. That's, again, Travis County JP Precinct 4 Democratic primary. And in the Travis County race chairperson in the Republican primary, again, all 100% of the precincts reporting, and the incumbent in this race, Richard Box, has taken this one by a total of only 11 votes over Nancy Shriver. Again, Box the winner in this race.
Certainly a close race, and we aren't seeing that many of them tonight. Now let's take a look at Williamson County, where we have two races we're watching very closely for you tonight. Williamson County, JP Precinct 3 in the Democratic runoff. J.E. Bud Simmons is ahead with 72% of the vote. He has been declared the winner there. Also Precinct 3, but the Republican side of this race, votes are coming in very slowly here. Only 20% of the precincts reporting. And we're looking right now at Dave Gepser ahead with 61% of the vote. And now in Hayes County, County Commissioner Precinct 2, Democratic side, Wayne Ford leading with 58% of the vote.
As we told you a bit earlier, we had Hank Gonzalez winning that very important Democratic race for Precinct 4, Travis County Commission. Our Bruce Gordon is standing by live now at the Travis County Courthouse with Hank Gonzalez. Bruce?
David, thank you. Hank Gonzalez, first of all, congratulations. You did a lot of work and a lot of legwork. You told me about a month ago that you'd done a lot of precinct walking, talking to the folks. Obviously, that paid off because you came from second place and you won tonight. What kind of work did you get involved in to win this thing?
It was a lot of hard work by a lot of people and a lot of shoe leather this time right there.
A lot of voice of change out there in the voting, and this really stands for a changing of the guard of the Commissioner's Court. Jimmy Snell barely held on last time. John Malloy out. Mike Renfro out. Bob Hunt's out. What's the new spirit of this Commissioner's Court going to look like?
I think it's going to look like open county government for everyone. That's what I see, and that's what I'm going to work for. Turn this county back to the people.
A pet project, as it were, that you have in mind once you're in office?
No pet project. I think the main thing, like I said, is open county government for everyone, that's accessible to everyone in the county, and that they can take part in it.
We talked a lot earlier about getting the endorsement of the folks who did not make it to this runoff. 3 different candidates who finished 3, 4, and 5 in the May 3rd runoff. We talked about those endorsements, but obviously you wanted to get the folks who voted for you the first time out this time, and you did that. How did you do it?
No one people makes this race. They make this race. No one person makes it.
Obviously, they have made it for you tonight, Hank Gonzalez. Our congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And that will do it from the Travis County Courthouse for now. Anyway, reporting live, Bruce Gordon, Channel 7 News.
You know, Hank said all along he thought the people wanted open, accessible government. Obviously, by the vote tonight, that is what they voted for.
A big victory indeed for him, and there are some very important statewide elections we're going to take a look at right now. First of all, in the Republican race for Attorney General, Roy Barrera has been declared the winner in this one. 87% of the precincts reporting he defeated, or is going to defeat, Williamson County District Attorney Ed Walsh. Moving along now again in the Republican primary, the race for Lieutenant Governor. Again, a declared winner in this one, David Davidson, the Austin business consultant. He has defeated Aaron Bullock with 69% of the vote.
And now let's take a look at the Democratic runoff for Railroad Commissioner. Another declared winner, John Sharp, a state senator from Victoria, declared the winner here. Railroad Commissioner on the Republican side. Milton Fox, a state representative from Houston, is leading this race with 87% of the precincts reporting.
And there are 3 Democratic races for 3 places on the Supreme Court. First of all, in the Supreme Court place number 1, a couple of declared winners in 2 races here. Oscar Mazzei, the state senator from Grand Prairie, has defeated Shirley Butts, a San Antonio appellate judge. Mazzei in with 59% of the vote and 93% of the precincts reporting at this time. Supreme Court place number 2, Democratic primary. Again, the incumbent here has been declared the winner. Robert Campbell has defeated Jim Brady, the Austin Appeals Court judge. Now, a very close race for Supreme Court place number 4, Democratic primary. This one has been going back and forth all night long. 93% of the precincts reporting right now. And the incumbent, Raul Gonzalez, now holds a lead over Jay Gibson. 52% of the vote for Gonzalez. Again, 93% of the precincts reporting at this time.
Well, in the only other judicial race we have tonight, that for Court of Criminal Appeals, place number 1, Democratic runoff, a winner has been declared here, Rusty Duncan over George Martinez. And the last race of the night, Land Commissioner, Republican side, M.D. Anderson has been declared the winner.
Those candidates who are not in today's runoff have their sights set on the November election. That's the case for Carol Keaton Rylander. She's running for the congressional seat now held by Jake Pickle. And today she brought in the number 2 man from Washington to help her fight the battle. Galen Savanas has the story.
Vice President George Bush was in Austin for lunch today. A $100 a plate affair meant more to fill the coffers than the stomach.
But the Vice President's visit today is special for another reason. It's the first time he's appeared on behalf of a candidate who's challenging a congressional incumbent.
I'm really pleased to have the Vice President join with me and to campaign with me and to be back home in Texas. It's a real pleasure to have George Bush here.
The Vice President stood before about 700 Rylander supporters, lauding her decision to step across party lines and join the GOP.
More and more people are following, in our state, Carol's leadership. And I know a fighter when I see one. And you're a fighter. And we're fighting for the same cause. And I am very, very proud to be in Austin today and proud to be at Carol Rylander's side. She's going to win this race.
The Vice President's stay only lasted a couple of hours, but it was long enough to add a lot to Rylander's credit and credibility. 2 things she'll need a lot of trying to unseat a 22-year incumbent. Galen Savanas, Channel 7 News, 10 o'clock report.
There are 5 races being decided tonight in Travis County, and our own Bruce Gordon is at the Travis County Courthouse following these races very closely. Bruce, what is the latest out there now?
The latest is that we are standing by with Zach Dawes, who has tonight won the GOP Precinct 2 race, and you will now go on to face Bruce Todd in November. First of all, a good margin for you tonight. Were you surprised at all?
Yeah, just a little. I was expecting to be a lot closer. The last week it got a little bit nasty, but we continue to focus on the issues of transportation and crime prevention, continue to walk door to door, take my message to the people, and I think that's what won it.
Long, tough race now against Bruce Todd. What kinds of things will you be focusing in on the next several months?
Number one, it's going to be a highly partisan race. There's no question that we need a Republican on the court. We need a good conservative voice and some leadership for Travis County. That's what I have to offer.
Uphill battle going against the Democrat in Travis County.
I think so, but we feel real good about it. The demographics in Precinct 2 look very strong. The trend in Travis County is becoming more and more Republican, more conservative, good, solid, efficient government.
Changing face in the Travis County Commissioner's Court, obviously. Jimmy Snell just hung on last time around, and as we talked a couple of minutes ago on our broadcast, a lot of changing faces, some newcomers on the court, and obviously Precinct 2 will be one of the places where we'll see some new faces. What about that changing look of the court?
It's a definite need. The voters are telling the court that we need good, open, honest leadership and effective county government. They're tired of the problems. Well, we lack a lot of confidence on the court, back to the people. I think that's what they're just basically explaining to the court.
You talked about lack of confidence. Are people tired? Were people tired of Richard Moya, Mike Renfro, people like Bob House, although he did not lose his race, chose not to run? Were the people tired of those people?
I think it's obvious.
I guess that's a pretty succinct answer. Zach Dawes, thank you, and congratulations. A tough battle ahead for you.
Thank you.
And we will see you again in November.
Appreciate it.
Zach Dawes with me at the Travis County Courthouse, reporting live. Bruce Gordon, Channel 7 News.
All right, thanks very much, Bruce. Now to other news of the day. One person is dead tonight after a boat accident on Lake Austin. Police say one other person received minor injuries when a boat collided at the boat dock at River Hills Drive. The accident occurred just after 8 tonight. The authorities say the victim's identification is being withheld pending notification of relatives. The brother of one of the Americans being held hostage in Lebanon has died today. Glenn Anderson died aboard a private plane as he was being flown to his home in Florida. He suffered from lung cancer and heart disease. Anderson had videotaped a message to his brother Terry earlier this week, asking his brother's captors to release him so he could see his brother before he died. He wanted Lebanese officials to broadcast the tape on Lebanese television. An American Army sergeant critically wounded in the bombing of a West Berlin discotheque has died. A military spokesman says James Goins died of wounds suffered in the attack. He had been in critical condition since the bombing. Goins is the second U.S. soldier to die because of the attack. A Turkish woman was also killed in the blast, and more than 200 others were injured. One of those injured, Private First Class David Jackson, was released Thursday from Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio.
A possible attempt on the life of Peru's president has left 3 dead and 5 injured. According to police, 4 bombs exploded in a plaza at the capital. All went off just before and after the president attended a ceremony there. He was not injured. A juvenile delinquent is apparently responsible for an afternoon hijacking attempt in Nicaragua. According to security officials at Managua's airport, the youth tried to hijack a Boeing 727 jetliner. The teenager was captured early this evening in what police call a lightning operation. No shots were fired, and none of the 70 passengers on board was hurt. Well, today, South African Bishop Desmond Tutu had tears streaming down his face when he urged blacks to stop killing each other. The words were fitting for the occasion. Tutu was attending a funeral for a slain church worker who was trying to stop feuding between rival black groups. Meanwhile, leaders of the Commonwealth nations are giving up on efforts to end South Africa's racial violence. A spokesman says the group has decided not to return to South Africa.
Back here in Austin, a protest against Austin police that began about 20 months ago is over tonight. The Black Citizens Task Force has called off its picketing outside police headquarters here in downtown Austin. The picket started back in December of 1984 following the death of Nigerian Evans Akiye. Akiye died as he lay face down on a waterbed in his apartment. Police officers had held the man down on the bed after he resisted them. The officers had been called to the Akiye home because of a reported domestic disturbance. A Travis County grand jury cleared the officers of any wrongdoing. Nonetheless, the Black Citizens Task Force continued their protests over what the task force claimed was police brutality. The BCTF now says it'll find other avenues of protest against the department. Families in search of local low-income housing have until tomorrow to apply for some new East Austin homes. A group of neighborhood associations have unveiled the Blackshear Homestead Project. It consists of 8 2- and 3-bedroom houses available to families with incomes from $12,000 to $20,000. Over 100 applications have come in already. Those postmarked no later than tomorrow will be considered. Officials say those eligible for owner financing will be notified in about a month.
Meanwhile, in his weekly radio address, President Reagan told Americans there would be more jobs and more money if the Senate adopts the tax overhaul plan before them. The bill proposed by the Senate Finance Committee would lower tax rates for many Americans. But a joint committee on Capitol Hill has a different opinion. The Taxation Committee says the bill would only serve to make already wealthy Americans even richer. Figures compiled by the group show the after-tax income of upper-class Americans going up as much as 3 times as the income of the middle class.
Meanwhile, the president is busy this weekend poring over details of the official report on the Challenger disaster. Sources on the commission that drafted the report say NASA should conduct full-scale tests of redesigned solid rocket boosters in the upright position. But that's an expensive procedure that both commission and NASA officials say could further delay the resumption of shuttle flights.
There are prayers tonight for former astronaut James Irwin. He is in a Colorado hospital unconscious after suffering a heart attack. Irwin walked on the moon during the Apollo 15 mission back in 1971. But even back then, during the moonwalk, NASA officials noticed cardiac irregularities. During Irwin's later years, he has worked as an evangelist, traveling around the country preaching. Tonight, Irwin is in critical but stable condition.
Coming up next, updated returns on today's critical races.
That's on our 10 o'clock report. It continues.
Laughter chimes out on the next taxi when Alex's daughter's about to get married.
And she didn't even invite the man whose glands gave her birth.
But when he crashes the party...
Oh, my God.
He crushes his ex-wife.
Alex! How come I wasn't invited?
Louise Lasser's the ex who's still looking good to Alex.
The best gift I could have received, seeing you two together.
Yeah, well, 5 minutes later, you would have had a better gift.
Taxi.
Don't miss Taxi, tonight at 10:30, right after Channel 7.
Discover the power of Lagerfeld, the dynamic fragrance for men. From Parfum Lagerfeld, Paris.
Your gift with any $17 Lagerfeld purchase.
At Foley's, of course.
Well, welcome back.
And let's update you now and again on some of the key races in today's runoff elections. First of all, in a couple of very important races here in Travis County. Travis County Commissioner Precinct 4 Democratic primary. This one's over. And the incumbent, Richard Moya, has been defeated by police officer Hank Gonzalez. Again, 100% of the precincts reporting. This one's all over. Travis County Commissioner Precinct 2 Republican primary now. Again, all precincts reporting, and Zach Dawes has defeated Alan Sager. Dawes pulling in 62% of the votes.
Now let's take a look at the race for Travis County Treasurer on the Democratic side. With 99% of the precincts reporting, I think it would be fair to say that Dolores Ortega Carter is the winner here. Moving on to Travis County JP Precinct number 4, Democratic side, Ricardo Madrigal is the winner here with 52% of the vote. And in the Travis County Chair, GOP Chair, Richard Box, the incumbent, is the winner with just a few votes.
We're going to move on now to some other races. These in Williamson County. Williamson County Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 in the Democratic primary. And G.E. Bud Simmons has won this one over Joe Saggart. Simmons with 72% of the vote. Moving along now, and also in Williamson County, Justice of the Peace Precinct 3. This is the Republican primary now, and returns very slow. 20% of the votes reporting now. And Dave Gepser is winning this one over Sue Jones, the challenger. And then in Hayes County, the County Commission Precinct 2 Democratic primary, these are all counted, and the winner in this one is Wayne Ford. He pulled in 58% of the vote. He's defeated Dan Campos.
Now let's take a look at one statewide race, that in the Republican primary for Attorney General. All the votes are not in, but Roy Barrera, district judge from San Antonio, has been declared the winner with 67% of the vote. Ed Walsh, the former DA from Williamson County, garnering 33%. Now, as we just said, it appears as though San Antonio Judge Roy Barrera will be the GOP's contestant for State Attorney General. His opponent, former Williamson County District Attorney Ed Walsh, conceded defeat a short while ago. Walsh told supporters in Round Rock tonight that he was disappointed the race wasn't closer.
But it wasn't even close. Roy Barrera is a fine campaigner, a fine person. We've known all along that he has had the Republican leadership behind him, and those are the those are the people who turned out to vote, and my hat goes off to him.
Walsh says he's going to take some time off for now. He wouldn't say if the future included another try at a statewide office.
Again, we talked about some very important races taking place here in Travis County. We're going to go back now to the Travis County Courthouse, where Bruce Gordon is standing by live with a report. Bruce?
Thank you, David. We are standing by with Dolores Ortega-Carter, who tonight won a very close victory in the county treasurer's race on the Democratic side. Dolores, first of all, you had to be doing a little bit of perspiring tonight.
Definitely I was, and I was just waiting and counting each box, and that's all I could do, and wait for the end. And it happened our way. They turned our way there at the end.
Any real doubts? Things looked a little grim until the very last boxes came in.
Well, no doubts. I knew we had done all we could do as far as getting the vote out and everything, and so it was just one of those things.
Plans for the office. I'm sure you're well aware that Brian Pate, who was interested in abolishing the office, drew a fair number of votes, and that might say something to you about what the feelings of the folks in this county are about this office. What do you have to do now with this office?
Well,
Lone Star Beer, also available in unbreakable cans.
At Kellon Pest Free, we'll get your home free of pests, or you'll get us free of charge, guaranteed. What he means is, after we're through, if you're still bugged by bugs or pestered by pests, we'll solve the problem, or you won't owe us a cent. Guaranteed.
Or to put it in a nutshell, with Ken Lawn Pest Free, it's bugs away or you don't pay. Guaranteed.
Any way we say it, with Ken Lawn Pest Free, you'll be satisfied or you'll get your money back. Guaranteed. Every room of your home. Free of pests or free of charge. Guaranteed.
Well, Larry Dingmore has the evening off, so yes. Nelson, you're sitting in, and you got to be used to this rain anyway.
Well, that's true. It continues mainly in southeastern portions of the state right now, but our chances will be here once again tomorrow that we may see some more of what we had. Now, 50-50 chance. I would think that Sunday will be pretty nice for Austin. Let's take a look at our conditions right now outside. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies, temperature 74 degrees, relative humidity 84%. The winds are out of the southeast at 7, and the barometer at 29.80 inches and steady this hour. Now, today's high, 90 degrees right before the rains began to fall. 72 was the morning low, and officially only 3/100ths of an inch of rain out of the airport. And we will be looking at the lakes probably beginning to rise because of that, but these are the stages today. Now, as we take a look at radar, we have very heavy thunderstorms still in progress over in southeastern sections of the state. We've got
time since 1855, the Tonkawa tribe has returned to its home at the Jordan Bachman Pioneer Farm near Walnut Creek. Even the rain has not dampened the spirit of the Indians. They plan to move the powwow, which is scheduled to run until midnight over to Reagan High School.
Well, the rain might not have dampened their spirits, but it certainly did do some damage for some baseball players.
There are a lot of baseball coaches tonight that are saying dirty things about Nelson, and Nelson really can't have anything to do. And one of them is the Westlake coach. We'll tell you why in just a minute.
Now, you were telling me there still is a chance this game...
Drop my pen.
This game could... You here, have mine.
Thank you.
Any others?
You got one, Nelson? Okay.
But is there a chance this game could still be played tonight?
Waco Richfield is the home team, and they have until midnight tonight to play it, and they have to win a ball game in this series, so they are going to hold out until 1 minute until 12. So they're all staying over there under the stands right now trying to stay dry. Westlake and Waco Richfield are still trying to play the second game of their best-of-3 series. It was too wet to play in Waco at 2 o'clock this afternoon, so the teams moved to College Station. This is what it looks like at Olson Field in College Station. More rain, Nelson. Now, if they don't get the game in tonight, the series will be over because of a UIL ruling that says the quarterfinals must end on the weekend before the state tournament.
Well, if the rain continues, which it looks like it's going to continue, this series is washed out, well, we will represent our region in the state tournament. So we're in good shape, and I definitely feel that we earned that right by winning that first game.
Howard's probably hoping for a little more rain over there tonight. Astros used the long ball today to beat the Dodgers and stay on top in the National League West. Glenn Davis got things going early in the ball game for Houston with his 11th home run of the season in the first inning. Two-run shot off Jerry Royce put Houston on top 2-0. Len Matuzak came back to take care of that lead a little later in the ball game. A 3-run shot off Charlie Kerfield in the 7th inning. This put the Dodgers back on top 5-4. But the Astros took the lead for good in the 8th inning. Bases loaded for scrap iron Phil Garner. He unloads one off the top of the wall. 2-run score on the double. As we go to the scoreboard, Astros win it over the Dodgers 7-5. Chicago lost to St. Louis this afternoon 3-2. San Francisco wins over the Cincinnati Reds. The final in that one 6-2. New York won over Pittsburgh tonight 6-4. Philadelphia beat Montreal 3-1. And Atlanta leading San Diego after 2 out on the coast 1-0. Those red-hot Rangers won their 5th straight tonight in the first game of a twilight doubleheader with Seattle up in Arlington. Ken Phelps got a home run, a long home run, to deep center field, his 9th of the year in the 7th inning, and this put Seattle on top of the Rangers 5-4. But the Rangers tied it up in the bottom half of the 7th. The shortstop Scott Fletcher singles in Odeby McDowell. Odeby scores from second easily. It is 5-5. Watch how they go ahead. Boom, wild pitch. Scott Fletcher scores from third. It is 6-5 Rangers. Bottom of the 8th now. Texas comes up with a little insurance. George Wright with his 2nd home run of the year. It's a solo shot. The Rangers stay on top in the American League West as we go to the scoreboard. 5 in a row, 7-5 the final in game 1. Texas leading the nightcap. This is after 3 innings, 2-0 Rangers. It would be very important if they could sweep that one tonight in front of the home fans. Baltimore wins over New York 7-2. California gets by Cleveland 8-2. Chicago wins big over Oakland 10-3. 3rd inning in a ball game that has had 2 rain delays tonight. Detroit leads over Toronto 2-0 after 3. Minnesota over Kansas City 4-1. That's big news for the Rangers. And after 6, Milwaukee leads Boston 2-0. Danzig Connection won the Belmont Stakes going away this afternoon to give trainer Woody Stevens a record 5th straight victory at the oldest jewel of the Triple Crown. Track announcer Marshall Cassidy calls the stretch run.
Connection has a neck in front. On the outside, Ferdinand and John's Treasure, the end of the stretch. Danzig Connection still leads narrowly. Ferdinand on the outside, challenging that lead. Farther out is John's Treasure. On the rail is personal flag moving into 4th as Danzig Connection now draws clear. This is going to be the 5th Belmont for Woody Stevens. John's Treasure on the outside of Ferdinand. Danzig Connection has the lead. It is Danzig Connection winning by a length and a half.
Rain there. Where else? Chris Everett Lloyd beat top seed Martina Navratilova today to successfully defend her French Open title, though it wasn't raining for this tennis tournament. For some reason, Chrissy always gets off to a terrible start. She did again today, losing the first set to Martina 6-2. But she became much more aggressive in the second set, winning 6-3. This is action from the 3rd and final set. Chrissy about to break Martina to win it 2-6, 6-3, 6-3. It was Chris Everett Lloyd's 7th win at the French Open. That ain't bad. Host Mexico missed a penalty shot with no time left on the clock today against Paraguay in World Cup soccer action, but the host team managed to tie anyway. 1-1 the final there. Elsewhere in World Cup soccer, Spain beat Northern Ireland 2-1, and Poland wins over Portugal 1-0. Okay, last but certainly not least, the Rockets and Celtics are ready for a hot time at the old Garden tomorrow afternoon. Game 6 of the NBA Championship Series set for noon right here on Channel 7. Of course, the big question: can the teams forget about Thursday night's fight and settle down and play a little basketball tomorrow? Well, I doubt very seriously if they can forget about it. Here's what the participants had to say after today's final workout.
Well, depending on how the officials start the ball game off, if they allow the game to really be physical, then all hell's going to break loose.
There won't be no more blow-ups. You know, you just got to come play basketball.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think it might be one of the greatest games of all time. It has potential. You know, it's set up that way with all the controversy that's happened and playing here in this great facility. And I'm just thank God I'm going to be a part of it.
If I have to keep hearing that how long that winning streak is and they've never lost here, I might have a tendency to start believing it. You know, I'm here to play a game of basketball, and I'm here to give everything out that I've got now for Sunday.
We'll see that tomorrow at noon. I know you'll see it tomorrow at noon.
Keep the Rockets mad. They play better.
I've got one more quick note here. Just got a call from Indianapolis. NCAA track meet tonight. The UT women have won their first ever NCAA outdoor track championship. That is over. UT wins it. In the men's competition, 2 events left. UT is 3rd. It looks like they're going to finish 3rd. Washington State number 1, SMU number 2.
Still not bad, though.
Great season for both teams.
Okay, thanks, David.
Well, still to come the latest on today's runoff races here in Central Texas and around the state.
We've seen a couple of upsets, and we'll tell you which ones they are. Stay with us.
Dial 459-2222 and get a Mr. Gaddis pizza delivered. 459-2222 will bring a Mr. Gaddis pizza to your front door when you're hungry for a pizza, but you don't want to move. Dial 459-2222. No trouble, no
you getting hungry yet? Well, give us a call and we'll bring over the best pizza in town. Honest.
Solid Gold is coming on strong with Miami Sound Machine. Host Dionne Warwick shares a special Solid Gold moment with Stevie Wonder. Then grab a little country gold with the Charlie Daniels Band. Plus the Red Hot Jets. Only on Solid Gold.